Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, and in today's video I would like to talk to you about icy and pink toned highlights. I love a good icy highlight on my skin tone, especially if you're fair skinned. Not all highlighters show up on you the way they do on other people. I own Becca Champagne Pop, for instance, and while stunning, if I wear that right now, especially in the winter time, it just kind of like falls flat and it doesn't really do anything in terms of highlighting, which is why I really love a good icy highlight. And I find myself really drawn to them, especially ones that have like this like pinky, almost purpley undertone to them. And I found that in the past couple of years, I've actually gathered quite a few. And when I went onto Temptalia to look into this highlighter by Becca, this is the Prismatic Amethyst, she lists a whole list of dupes for this product. And I actually found that all of these highlighters that I've been so drawn to over the past couple of years are all listed as dupes for this one. And this is the last one I actually bought. So there have been highlighters on the market that are very similar to what the Becca Prismatic Amethyst does. So this is in a way a dupe video because I'm going to be showing you 5 highlighters, including this one, that all have this pinky, like icy undertone in their highlight, and that's why I bought this, but that's also why I bought the others. But I do feel they do all do something differently for me. So let's just start with the Becca Prismatic Amethyst then, because that is also what I'm wearing on my cheeks today as my highlight. I really like that this really gives me this like glistening glow from a distance, but when the sun hits my face, you also see that pinky undertone that this has. Let me open this up for you. Especially in this lighting, it doesn't look that pink, but if you hold this in the sunlight, it definitely looks a little bit different, and that's what I like. I really like a highlight that kind of transforms depending on how the light hits it. This also has a little bit of a pinky purpley undertone to it, which is why I think they are a little bit different from the other ones that I'm about to show you, because those all tend to pull very pink or very purple, and this has both. So that's why I do think that this is very unique in that sense, because it kind of mixes the two things. Now, in terms of highlighters that do something similar, Becca's Prismatic Amethyst is of course very expensive. It is around the $38/euro mark. So if you're looking for something a little bit affordable that is still high-end, then Urban Decay do some great highlighters as well. This is the one in Aura. Everybody was raving about Sin a few years ago. Like when that came out, everybody's like, oh, Sin! I tried it in the store. It's too dark for me. It doesn't do anything on me. And then the sales associate actually draw my eye to this one, and this is Aura, and this has that same pinky purpley undertone, though I do find that this pulls a little bit more purple almost than the Becca. And this was my first one of these like higher end like purpley undertoned highlighters, and this is sort of where the love for me started. This has been out longer than the Becca one as well, so in a way, you know, but yeah, for me, this definitely, like, this is, the Becca one is very intense and very shimmery, but this is also a little bit more muted down. It's not as bam in your face as the Becca one, this Urban Decay Aura highlighter. Last time I went shopping, I bought this. And this is the Knicks Duo Chromatic Illuminating Powder in Lavender Steel. And I haven't heard many people talk about this. I mean, in the pan, this doesn't look that highlightery, I have to say. But this has not a very, like, pink or a very, like, purple, but really, like, lavender or almost lilac kind of flash to it, which I think makes this a lot more unique. This is, of course, a much more affordable item than the other two that I just showed you. But for me, this would fall into like the mid-range category. Over here, Knicks is a little bit more expensive than, for instance, in the United States. So I think this retailed for around the €13 mark, I'd say, which is still a lot more affordable than the Urban Decay and the Becca, of course. This does have more of like, you know, the other two definitely only have that glow to them when you apply them, but this definitely has like a colorful undertone to it and then the flash. So this is a little bit more difficult to apply, I find, because of that, because you have to be very careful that you don't get like a stripe of color onto your face. So this has like a pinky, almost gray tone undertone to it, hence the name Lavender Steel, I guess. And then it has this like lavender lilac flash to it. I think it's very unique. I think it looks stunning. Then next, one step down the money ladder, you could say, is Colourpop highlighters. I only have one, and this is in the shade Hippo. And I believe these retail for $8, and this is of course that cream to powder formula, but also Hippo has this like pinky purpley flash to it. There are a couple that they do that are very similar to one another. I was very much umming and ahhing between Monster and this one, but I felt that Monster was perhaps a little bit more pink, and I definitely wanted to have this like more of a purpley kind of flash to it, and this definitely has it. This is much more icy than the Urban Decay and the Becca, I find. This definitely has like, oh, you can already see it in the pan, it has this like glistening effect to it. It's a bit more subtle than the Becca highlighter for that, because it's not as glowy, I'd say, but it's this more of like a wet look. And I like applying these Colourpop highlighters with a damp beauty blender. So I just, after I've done my foundation, I twist it in and then I stamp it onto my face, and you get this nice wet look effect. And then last but not least, our most affordable option today, and that is the Catrice highlighting powder in shade 010 Stardust. This is not available everywhere, I'd say, because this has discontinued in Europe, but you might still be able to get it in other territories where Catrice isn't so keen on changing their lineup every single 6 months. This has a very nice pattern to it, first of all, and this is a very icy toned highlight as well. This flashes a bit more pink, I'd say, than the other ones. This was also a bit further down the dupe list by Temptalia. So this is a great one as well. In fact, I use this all the time. I almost decluttered it because I have another highlighter by Catrice that is even a little bit more rosy tone, not necessarily like pink, but more of a rosy tone that I loved over this last spring. But now that it's winter time, I've been pulling out this a lot. And this really doesn't really do under for any of the more higher end highlights. I find it perhaps has a little bit more of a noticeable like shimmery sparkle to it at times, but on the cheek, you don't really see that anymore. And I think that in terms of iciness, like true, like icy, almost white, but not quite, this is a great one. So that's it. Those are 5 of my favorite pinky, icy toned highlighters for fair skin. I really love these products and I rotate them every single time. As I already mentioned, some of them I like to wear in the winter time, some of them I like to wear more in like the spring, summertime, but these are the type of highlights that I can wear year round. And I don't have to think about it. I can just slap them onto my face and I'm good to go. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe because I make new videos every single Sunday. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.